is the last time you actually took a good hard look at your conversion rate? Okay. What do you know what is converting and what isn't converting, right? Where you're spending your time. This is, something that so many entrepreneurs and business owners don't really take the time to understand. And so I want to try to explain it to you today in a way that it makes it kind of easy for you. I'm not saying you've got to get into understanding your conversion rate on every single thing. I'm talking like, let's do some basic math here to understand what's working and what's not working. I mean, we're coming up on the end of the year. And so you've got to understand before you move into the next year, especially if you want your business to grow, you've got to understand what worked and what didn't. Okay. And of course, I've got a story for you on this one. So here's what happened. I had a client who has been hired somebody to do some Pinterest marketing for her, and it's been going well. She's been getting some. It's not, I think sometimes with Pinterest it's hit or miss, but for her, she is getting traffic to her website, which is a good thing. All right. How much of that traffic, but here's what we were questioning, is how much of that traffic is actually converting into sales. And you can find this information out. It takes a little bit of digging. And this is just an example. I'm not saying everybody has this, but we were looking at, how many people are landing on her website, because the reason this came up is because her Pinterest manager wanted her to start writing more blogs that were not relevant to her business, but they were driving traffic to her website. So my question here was, okay, if they're driving traffic to the website, that's great. But how much of that, but if they're not really relevant to what she's selling, how, because it was more of like work-life balance or motivational or more inspirational blogs or talking about like life, mom life type of thing. So like her as a person, but not relevant to what she sells, right? So creating more on the personal brand side, but not related to the actual service or product that she sells. Okay, so we were looking at, and they wanted her to start writing more of these blogs because they said that they were driving the most traffic to her website. But she would have had to hire somebody like a copywriter. She gives like, outlines, and then the copywriter writes the blog and then uploads them and all this. And so it would have been additional money going out to put this in play. But they can't tell us what the conversion rate is, right? Like we wanted to know, okay, great. Maybe one blog is bringing 100 people to her website. Let's just use easy math. But if none of them are buying, then we have a conversion rate of 0. So if we have a conversion rate of 0, you're not making any money, and now it's going to cost you money to bring and do more of it. What is the point? Now, if we have 100 people and one person buys, and the average sale is whatever, $500 again for easy math, and it's going to cost $350. Now we've made 150, right? Like, so you understand the conversion rate and you can really put some solid numbers behind this. You can look at it, and so we can see like, okay, well, if we double that and we now have 200 people coming because we write another blog and it's still only costing us $350, and now we have 200 people and that's 2 sales, and now we're making 1,000. Or if we write, if it's going to triple it and it's going to bring 300 people and at a conversion rate of 1 to 100, if that means now we're going to make $1,000, or with the potential for them to upsell. But again, you've got to look at that. Like, you've got to understand what is vanity metrics and which numbers are really important. I don't really give a shit if you have a lot of views on your LinkedIn posts. If you have a lot of posts, so here's a conversion rate for you. I started adding my freebie opt-in as a signature on all my LinkedIn posts. I can look very easily at how many times I posted that link and how many new subscribers I got, which is a lot more than if I just put a post up about it. That converts better. I can see, I think I was getting like 1 or 2 a day based on the posts, compared to maybe 1 when I post about it once a week, right? So I can see that works, all right? So you can do more of it. But again, same thing with your sales calls, or same thing with your leads. How many leads do you have right now, and how many of them converted into sales? If you've done calls, go back, count up the number of calls you've done, and then look at how many of them turned into something. Did it convert into a referral partner? Did it convert into a client? Did it convert into an introduction to something else? Where is your conversion? What is working and what isn't? You've got to be willing to look at this, I'm telling you, because it's solid data. It's really, really interesting data that tells you exactly what your audience wants. Same with like your emails. If you're sending out emails, how often do you actually go back into your email server and look and see who's opening it? All right, great. We have a 30% open rate. Wonderful. But who are those 30%? Do they open up? Is it the same 30%? Is it the same 30 people or whatever your 30% is, right? Is it the same people every time? Is it different people every time? How many emails have they opened? Are they clicking any of the links? Are they looking at anything? Do you even have links in there for them to click? Again, you should always have links in there for them to look at. I have one right now that opens up almost every single one of my emails, and every time I have an offer or link to my one-on-one offers, she clicks on it, but she hasn't converted yet. I've even had a call with her. So that's data. I've got to reach back out to her. I've got to follow up with her. It's all right there. You've got to understand these conversion numbers. And I know a lot of you are going to tell me that you hate numbers, but I'm telling you, this is basic math. I'm not telling you to dig into and look at and do some massive, massive calculations. It's how many calls did you have? How many turned into business? How many, if you're looking at your Google Analytics, how many clicks to your website? How many purchases? How many leads did you get versus how many converted or purchased something? How many posts did you put up with an opt-in versus how many opted in? Simple, basic conversions that you can look at and see like, okay, this is working really well. This is not. All right. So where's your conversion rate? What is your conversion rate? Do you know it? Do you know? Because if you don't know it, how can you make it better? Right? You can't. So go figure out your conversion rates. If you need help, you know how to find me. We can absolutely do this. I have a monthly tracker sheet that actually will help you kind of fill this out. If you want it, you can just DM me. I'm happy to share that with you. You can look at it and fill it out every single month. It's very, very helpful to look at your growth and see like really where your conversions are increasing or decreasing. So if you want that, let me know. I have it. I'll actually make sure it's linked in the show notes so you don't even have to ask me for it. How's that? I'm going to even make it even easier for you. But if you need help filling it out or you're not sure what to do with the data once you do, let me know. Again, it takes time to fill these things out. But here's the thing. You've got to start taking time for some of these CEO activities if you want to grow your business. Plain and simple, done, period. Love you guys. Talk to you later.